Did you know that the author of Tokyo Ghoul has put out a new action series that's absolutely mind-blowing? Or that there's a new dark war isekai that redefines what cruel really means? Or that there's a thrilling series about a girl getting revenge for her dead best friend, who was killed by a god? Welcome to 3 of the most incredible action manga, from fierce to crazy to straight up mind-blowing that I wish I read sooner. This video is something for Tokyo Ghoul, Berserk, and Attack on Titan fans, so sit back and let's get right into it. Choujin X is the newest series by the author of Tokyo Ghoul, and I think he did an amazing job with this manga. To best show this off, he starts Choujin X off with a bang. Literally within the first few pages, we see a man burn an entire plane and all of its passengers to ashes. Men, women, and children alike get indiscriminately burned by this deranged man. And all of this was only done because he got the middle seat of a plane and needed to use the bathroom, but was getting annoyed that the person in the aisle was too slow to get up. This opening scene sets the tone for the story. In Choujin X, we're told that these superhumans are called Choujins. But unlike something like My Hero Academia, where superhumans with quirks are a part of normal life and are often celebrities, we find out that the people of this world view Choujins as terrorists and want nothing to do with them. Around the same time as a plane bombing, we see another Choujin hunt down 2 teenagers. They try fighting back, but are easily overpowered by his violent tendencies. To escape death, they decide to take the ultimate risk to turn themselves into monsters too by becoming Choujin. So what's the issue with this? I mean, even if they've gained superpowers, if they're not evil, then it's not a big deal, right? But the issue is that Choujin powers are based on emotion, and if you lose control of yourself, you could become a monster capable of killing countless people. While some Choujins can easily hide their powers to try and live normal lives, our main character, Tokyo, is transformed into a terrifying bird creature reminiscent of a vulture. We're immediately left with questions. How will Tokyo be able to stay in society with his new form? Why did his best friend not transform as well? And why does it seem like so many terrifying Choujin want to capture him? And believe me, the mysteries in this manga just keep getting crazier and crazier as the plot continues. Let me just say that when I started reading the story, I thought the plot was kinda small like this. But then the author took his gloves off, slapped me across the face with them, and made the plot big like this. And I was like, damn, now we got a story. And you'll know you've reached this point when they explain the X in Choujin X. But what sets this manga apart? Let me just say my biggest pet peeve in a story is when the bad guys are evil just for the sake of being evil. You know, when a villain has no reason to commit mass genocide other than because they were a little bit mad. But what Choujin X does best is set up its mystery in such a way that it convinces you that the villains, like the man who literally bombed a plane, actually might have some legit reasons for what they're doing. And by doing that, I believe that this manga is honestly something special. Let me just say that the artwork is amazing and lets this story work because of how big of an imagination the author has. There are so many incredible moments that maybe just stop and go, how could someone come up with this? I mean, was it necessary to make one of the villains a B-52 stealth bomber with arms? No. But was it cool as hell? Yeah. And it's by doing crazy things like this, combined with great pacing, that shows that Choujin X knows exactly how to keep you hooked. It'll often start off with a lighthearted and funny intro, only to catch you off guard with some of the coldest fight scenes that are in any manga right now. And just when you think it can't get any crazier, it'll throw something new in your face out of nowhere and just make you go, ah. I highly recommend Choujin X, but the next 2 series are even more underrated and could easily become your new favorites. And that's what this channel is all about. My name's Anish, and welcome to Manga Niche. This is a channel for everything manga related, including helping you find your new favorites. So if you're interested, please consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. Now let's get back into it. In an era of isekai saturating the anime and manga market, it feels like every new series needs an insane new gimmick to stand out. I mean, who asked for a series about someone being reborn as a vending machine? But instead of any weird gimmicks, Records of Highserk War stands out by focusing on what any action fan really wants to see. One man facing off against hordes of enemies by slashing, stabbing, and destroying anyone he faces. The name of this manga might sound similar to Berserk, and coincidentally, I think this might be a great read for Berserk fans. In this manga, we meet Wam, who is reborn into a medieval fantasy world filled with war. In this new life, he's become a soldier for the country of Highserk. We start the story by finding out that Highserk has waged war against a few of its neighboring countries. The Highserk army will stop at nothing to conquer these surrounding areas, no matter how violent the strategy is, and Wam is prepared to do his part and survive until the end. Known as one of the strongest people in his division, Wam has embraced that this new world is kill or be killed, and he has chosen to kill. When I first saw that this was an isekai about war, I got a little bit intimidated. Isekais are known for doing huge plot dumps at the start, and huge plot dumps can be especially scary for a war manga because it feels like out of nowhere I'll have to memorize 1,000 different complex names and strategies, and after just a few chapters of this, my brain can turn to mush. But Records of Highserk War simplifies that as much as possible, and instead actually focuses on using the isekai concept of the main character being a reborn person to give us the perspective of war from someone who was just a normal dude in his original life. War is gruesome, and while others in this universe revel at the thought of violence with how normalized it is, Wom knows exactly the evil he's committing and knows that he's not just being a soldier, he's being a murderer. This manga is all about following Wom through the Highserk War while he increasingly struggles to balance his moralities between being a normal dude and being a soldier in an army. His feelings of guilt become clearer as we see Wom grow stronger and the fights get more intense. From what starts off as Wom just using his sword to cut through individual foes, we later see him harness the power of his unique blue fire to create these moments of pure exhilaration, making him a god on the battlefield. He becomes untouchable to normal men and leaves destruction all around him, letting him be the main focus of any military operation. Just as we see the destruction in these fights get amplified, so too do Wom's feelings of guilt from his actions. When he uses his fire, he can smell the burnt flesh around him and hear the distant screams of people burning alive. Sometimes these thoughts make him hesitate, and other times he's able to hide his earthly personality behind a demonic mask and act like a demon on the battlefield, finally feeling like more of a soldier than a murderer. And after spending so much time in this world, maybe sometimes he too enjoys the violence, but at what cost? I thought Records of Highserk War was incredible, and I definitely think it deserves more people talking about it, but this next manga had me up until 4 AM binging it because I just couldn't put it down. What if I told you that gods were real and could grant any wish you wanted? But what if there was a chance you could die if you actually met one? If so, why do so many people search out these gods with the hope that the gods actually do kill them? In this manga, 6 supernatural beings have invaded the world. It's unknown whether these are truly gods, but the otherworldly destruction they've brought to cities like Tokyo cannot be denied. These gods take on monstrous forms, like a demonic bird, a gigantic snake, or worst of all, a stuffed bunny. Despite their form, there's one rumor about these gods that have caused millions to worship them. Meeting a god will undoubtedly be the happiest moment of your life, even if you die. When you look a god in the eyes, you will be petrified with undying support for them. When you take in their breath, you will be released from this world and turned into water. As such, hordes of distressed people have sought out these gods, attracted by the offer of finally being happy, even if it means meeting their death. One girl named Waka has vowed to destroy these gods for the sin of killing her best friend, who is attracted by their deathly offer. We start the story by seeing Waka storm the domain of a god and battle one of their servants, which ends in her getting brutally stabbed in the face. But just as the servant turns away, we see Waka stand right back up and transform herself into a god. It's clear that the hope for humanity against this overwhelming presence is to fight fire with fire. And that's why if I had to pitch this manga to anyone, it would be to Attack on Titan fans. This manga has the same sense of dreadful mystery to it that makes you wonder, who are the gods? Where did they come from? Why do they kill humans? And is it safe to rely on someone who can turn themselves into a god? What I love the most about this manga is that the plot always has the gas pedal fully floored. The fight scenes are incredible, and you never know what to expect. The manga makes you feel like on any random page, a sudden twist can happen that changes everything, which really keeps you on your toes. I mean, how many manga can get away with bringing gummy bears to life and within moments make them the creepiest fuckers around? I've tried to stay as vague as possible in this review just so you can experience the twist completely blind and have your mind blown just like I did. All things considered, this is one of the best manga I've read recently and I highly recommend it. I had a blast reading this title and now I'm just waiting for the next chapter to come out. But while we're waiting for the next chapter, you can click here for more manga recommendations. Let me know what genre I should check out next. See you next time.